Well, welcome back, folks, to another edition of Cooking Around with Ken. Can you believe it? Another year's passed, and here we are. The holiday seasons, you know, for a foodie like myself, this is has to be my favorite time of the year with all the great meals you can prepare. And speaking of great, we have a great chef here today, Randy Furman of Randy's Events and Catering. He joined us last year, if you remember. And Randy, it is fantastic to have you back again.
Well, thank you.
And welcome. I don't know if you call yourself a chef. I call you a chef when I look at all this food out here.
I'm a kind of a creator. I kind of create the environment and the food and the whole, as you can see, the whole feeling.
It is fantastic. And we're going to go down the line and look at all this wonderful stuff you brought us today. And I'm getting hungry. So let's go.
All right, so
here.
let's start with the stuffing.
All right.
So I do traditional with Miss Covinson's. I love it because it's real easy to work with. So
really
you
is.
go ahead and put the two bags in here.
We got a couple bags in here.
Couple bags.
And 2 bags come in each box, I believe.
Correct.
Right.
So then what I normally do is I take 2 cups of chicken stock, a half a cup of sherry, and a 1/4 pound of butter, and I simmer it. Then I throw the celery in and onions in to get soft.
Right, and that adds some moisture as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then what I did is I took the mushrooms and I sauteed them until they were golden brown, which gives them a nice nutty flavor. It's different.
Yeah,
and something we're going to do differently is when we do this, we're going to put it. We spray the mold either with a spray if you're dietary, but I use so much butter for this holiday. I would butter it.
Yes.
And then
I would too.
And then I would put all the mushrooms around.
And you make a very good point that I think a lot of people miss when they're preparing things like this. A little extra step of browning those mushrooms are going to add just another dimension to this.
I brown them all the way. Yeah, I brown them all the way, and then I just put a splash of sweet sherry, and then what I do is I form it. So it's great. And then this year I'm using Farmer John's Lynx.
Oh, these are always good.
This is great. So we're going to put this in the stuffing this time.
Okay, and leftover you can have with your eggs in the morning.
Right. So,
all right.
And this is what they look like before you cut them up.
Right, so you cut them.
And I actually did them in the oven, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
If you're trying to multitask, put them in the oven. Don't put them in a pan. Put them in a 350, probably 10 to 15 minutes, and then they're done, and you just put them out.
Good idea.
Put them on a towel.
Yeah.
So these are great. So then what we do is you've got the stuffing. Now there's different ways to do it. You can put it in your turkey. As you can see, I did it a couple different ways. Here's a ring I used, a little Jello ring.
I love this idea. It's
and
wonderful.
You actually can see the mushrooms and everything.
Right
it's very mosaic.
Yeah.
Now,
beautiful.
Then I took a bundt pan, the miniature bundt pans, and I did them individuals if you're going to do a formal sit-down dinner, which is great. Now, here's something you can do. You can do these ahead of time by a couple days, put them in the refrigerator, and then you can brush them with butter. If people, some people love their outside really crisp.
Right.
So when you reheat it,
that would be me.
So when you reheat it, you brush it with butter, put it in the oven until it gets crisp. Right. So it's moist inside and then it's crisp outside. It's amazing.
Now, do you have them in the pan to form the mold? Do you cook them in the pan?
I cook them in the pan to begin with.
Okay.
And then when I get ready, I take them out and put them on a cookie sheet that I butter.
Right.
And then I brush them again, and then I serve them. So when they get crisp, they're really clear. Because a lot of times in the pan, they won't get crisp, as you can see.
Right.
This is 45 minutes. Now, a lot of people don't understand about vegetables, and especially about peas. Peas are great because you love them with the mashed potatoes.
Yes.
But you never cook peas. All you do is you put them in a bowl.
That's right.
Put boiling hot water over them, drain them once, and then do it again, and then you put brown butter over them, and then you're done.
Yes.
And what's great about that is all you have to do is just put them in the middle of the...
Oh, that looks great.
Like that.
Very festive.
Very festive, and you can actually put them in here and put them around.
Yeah, that looks wonderful.
So now we're going to talk about the turkey, and the way I do it is a little different. Sometimes you use the pop-ups always to help you.
Right.
Because that way you know, because a lot of people get scared they aren't sure when they're done.
Yeah,
it's anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes a pound, depending on what your oven's like, and whether you do it at 350, 375. You can always go online and find out a way to cook it to make sure there's all different ways to do it.
And ovens vary so much. You can say yours at 350. The next neighbor has theirs 350, and you can have a 15 or 20 minute difference at least in the same size turkey. Yeah.
So what I do for mine is I use a pound of butter, like a 1/4 cup of Crisco. I use 2 tablespoons of Paul Prudhomme's Chef Magic. It's poultry seasoning. And then I do a pound of carrots. I leave the skin on. I do a whole bunch of celery, and then I slice it, and then I use 2 onions. Then what I do is I toss it in that mixture with I use garlic and a little bit of salt
okay.
and pepper. I toss all the vegetables in that, and as you can see, I stuff them in this turkey.
All right,
I stuffed them in here, and I also put them all the way around.
So it gives you wonderful pan juices.
Amazing. That's how I get my no-flour gravy.
Right.
So what I do is I get it like this.
Yeah,
I do it like this, and then when I talked about doing it a little bit earlier about cooking it and then slicing it.
Ah, there you go. You're all set.
So what I do is I put a towel on it, and I put a little bit of chicken stock on it, and just a touch of sherry, and it's undercooked, and you can warm it in the oven, and it steams it and brings the moisture in, and you don't overcook the turkey.
Oh,
it's
that's
not dry.
wonderful. So you would maybe slice this up a little before you have the.
You can do it the day before.
The day before,
If you have a big group, you
Great
probably
idea.
need 2 turkeys.
Exactly.
So you can have one as your centerpiece, and then the other one to be
That's
used.
a great idea. It's a good catering tip, isn't it?
It is.
And this guy's a caterer, so he knows. And I got to tell you, last year, talk about your gravy a little bit here. We have it down in the front. I did this last year, but explain the process to people.
Well, what you do is, if you carve up your turkey ahead of time, you're going to have scraps of turkey and the skin. I take all the vegetables and I take all the juices. I actually chill it first to get rid of the fat layer. Then what I do is I put it in a pot, and then I add some more chicken stock because there won't be enough stock to make a puree.
Right.
And then you might have to add a little bit of kitchen bouquet to get it a little bit darker. Otherwise, it looks a little anemic.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So, and then all you do is you simmer it for about 45 minutes with the skin and the turkey and all the vegetables, and then you puree it.
And it's wonderful.
You can actually eat it like a soup. It's pretty.
And again, I did this
amazing.
last year, folks. I did the exact thing that Randy was talking about, and it turns out wonderful. The depth of flavor you get is absolutely incredible.
And it's no flour.
Really
That's why I call it no flour gravy.
Exactly.
That's a little bit healthier. Then I get to go to my cholesterol death
There
mashed
we
potatoes.
go. Yes. Hey,
So,
it's the holidays.
you know.
So
So it's mashed potatoes. I leave the skins on. I actually do them in the microwave. So it's really fast.
Good idea.
And then I whip it with cream cheese, butter, and sour cream, and a little bit of half and half for milk.
I have a saying around the holidays. If you want low fat, go eat a bowl of cornflakes and save this for me. I'm sorry, but
I agree
it's that
totally.
time of the year.
I agree totally. Then what I did is I sautéed some spinach ahead of time, and then what you can do is you just take your spinach, and then you can just put it on
very
top,
nice.
and then you can swirl it in. So you've got another vegetable
Yeah,
there.
that is great.
And this is great.
And those mashed potatoes sound absolutely wonderful.
They work.
The cream cheese.
Both
Man,
thighs,
oh, man.
perfect.
Yes.
All right, now this is my cranberry, raspberry, orange.
Oh, very nice.
Fresh relish. And what you do is you take 1 package of cranberries.
Okay, easy to find this time of the year.
Right. 1 package of raspberries.
Okay.
Then I take a can of the jellied cranberry, wholeberry cranberry sauce.
Which is a favorite of a lot of people.
Now here's the difference. As you can see, I've left some skin on the orange.
Right.
I only use 2 oranges. On 1.5 of the oranges, I take the skin off. On half of the other orange, I leave it on.
Okay.
And then I take a half a cup of orange marmalade.
Oh, all right.
I put
Got
it
it.
all in the Cuisinart or your mixer, and then you just puree
Yeah,
it
and it comes
to the
out.
depth that you like. A lot of people cook their cranberries. I'm telling you, when you eat this, it's got a nice bite to it because of the
So you don't
orange
even
feeling.
cook the cranberries. Wow.
Don't
I've
have
never
to.
heard of that.
It's so fast. I mean, and then if you
That's incredible.
And if you're having adults only, putting like a 1/4 cup of Grand Marnier in,
There you
really
go.
nice. But
So even though the cranberries are quite tart, you're bringing in the sweetness of the marmalade and also the canned cranberry.
Correct.
And the raspberries, so that counteracts the real sharp tartness of the
absolutely,
cranberries.
yeah.
All
Plus,
right.
you've got the oranges. You've
Right,
got the orange.
exactly.
But the skin of the orange gives you that bite that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Very nice. I like that idea.
So
Great
then
idea.
I did yams with apricots, and then what I do is the glaze is I take butter again, I take apricot pineapple jam,
I love it, the
and I
butter.
take brown sugar. And then what I do is I take my butter and brown sugar and then I boil it almost like a caramel.
Right.
Then I add my apricot pineapple jam.
Smells wonderful.
And
It really
then
is good.
pour it over it. But what I do, which a lot of people don't think about, I take these out, let them cool, but I take all the liquid out again, and then I boil it down to a
So you
thick
really
caramel.
become a syrup.
No, it's caramel.
Wow.
In fact, I actually have some for you to taste later.
That's
And
amazing.
then what I did is I sautéed macadamia nuts.
Oh, look at that.
And then what you do is you
Did
just
you
put them-
have some spices on there?
No, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
brown butter.
Okay.
and then you just put this on, and then you can put it back in the oven for a minute because you don't want them to get too soggy.
Yeah, great idea.
So then you have this is your killer, and then you can make a great sandwich with your cutlets and stuffing.
You got it all set.
Sandwich, and then you make the sweet potatoes. You can make a panini.
Yeah, there you go.
You can actually use the stuffing as the outside. Put your turkey in. You can use a great mustard.
Good idea.
You know, which is Morehouse.
Yeah, the Morehouse
and
mustard.
They have like 5 or 6 flavors,
Yes,
which
they
is
do.
great.
Yes, they do.
So you can kind of make it spicy if you want to. So it's really, really good.
Well, this looks absolutely wonderful. But there's one more thing that Randy's known for, and that's the brownies that you produce. And in the front here, we have it looks like Chinese takeout right here. It's really not. It's the packaging. And you brought me some of your brownies to try.
Here is Kona coffee.
This is Kona coffee.
So it has real Kona coffee in it.
He did ask what flavor I wanted ahead of time, and I am a coffee guy, and this is really good. I'll tell you something. You do. No, you need coffee for me. This is so rich. Really, a piece like this.
It's more like a truffle.
It really is. It's absolutely wonderful. I'd have this with a little coffee and a little vanilla ice cream. That's how
that works. You can heat these up in the microwave.
Yeah.
Get them really nice
and the kids
gooey.
can have the milk with it. But this is excellent. You make several flavors of these,
I make
right?
over 15 flavors right now.
Okay, and you have a website.
Right, Randy Furman Events, and it's FUHRMAN.
Okay, and
Events.
we have that information up right now. And also, you have another website, or can you get to the Randy's Brownies
Well, you can
website?
get to the Randy's Brownies, or you go to
Okay.
Randy's Brownies, and that's local. You can either pick it up from I have a home kitchen right now.
Okay.
And then the cakes are not deliverable across the nation, but the brownies can be shipped anywhere. So you can order
Oh,
those
I
and they can
see.
be shipped
Okay.
anywhere.
And you know what? I always tell people, if you forget the website, don't worry. Go to Google, put Randy's Brownies, put Randy Furman Events, do something like that. But we got it on the screen there. That's the best way to go. You can give us a call here, and I'll give you the information. Randy, once again, another wonderful meal you've prepared for us.
Well, I hope you use something this year at your table.
Yeah, I think I am. I think the mashed potatoes. I'm gonna have to try that. That's that's a winner. Randy, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for
Appreciate
having
you
me.
coming on down here. And folks, you can go to also ThanksgivingTips.com. We'll have some information for you there. Try some of these recipes. You can see how easy they are, the way Randy has staged everything over a few days. And once again, Randy, thank you very much. And folks, you have a warm and wonderful holiday. I'm going to get to eating some of this right now, okay? We'll see you. Bye-bye.